Realizing this new desk has a lot less space. I'm gonna have to fix that. That's good. It's not good. I'm lying. Video games. Portable video games. Video games not on a big TV, but on a this. You can't really do much better than playing a video game when you're bored and waiting for anything. There seems to be a lot of waiting in this world. I mean, there's a few things you could do to pass the time. Like, you could get out your LTT.com CPU fidget spinner. But this costs like, what was it, like 35 bucks? Total impulse buy, and I never use it because it's not really the best fidget spinner ever, and I just bought it because it was kind of neat. And I was buying a water bottle 6 months ago, and as you can see, I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I got the white one so I could show all the battle scars that this goes through, and I treated it so poorly that I think I broke it. Can you hear that? I think I broke this seal. Linus, send me another one. He's not going to. So you could fidget with things, or you could just keep an eye on the time with your modern timekeeping device that isn't wound and isn't focusing, and also only keeps mediocre time because it's from like 1895. So you could do that as well, but I wouldn't recommend that either. You could listen to music with your music devices, your Nano or your Shuffle. You could also bring a controller with you and pretend to play video games on the go. That's an option if you want. I don't know what people will think if you're just sitting on a chair and then holding a controller and pretending to play a video game and saying really naughty words to nobody, but it is an option, especially since this is not a wireless controller, it's a wired one. It's like the cheapest one I could get on short notice when I bought an Xbox Series X. I bought it used and it didn't come with a controller, and I couldn't find my controller, so I just had to buy this same day because I wanted to play games in 2 days when the games finished downloading on my really terrible internet. All of this isn't what I want. What I want is this. Oh yes. Yes, the Valve Steam Deck. The thing that portable gaming was waiting for its entire life. When it came to making CPUs and GPUs that just got more and more efficient and more powerful and smaller and smaller and smaller, it was only a matter of time before you could shove an entire PC into a handheld and play PC games on the go with okay battery life. If you're unfamiliar, Valve is the gaming company that made Steam and Team Fortress 2 and Team Fortress and Counter-Strike 2 and CSGO and Portal 2 and a bunch of other ones like Left 4 Dead, which I haven't played. Sorry. Oh, and also that one series that has 2 entries. It has a good one and then a better sequel, and then they didn't make a third one. You know, you could pick. There are more than one of those that Valve has made. But they're basically the pioneers of the PC gaming industry, like online without physical discs. They weren't the first to do it, but they were the first to do it right. And when you're the first to do it right, you tend to do a really good job, and you stick around, except for in a lot of cases. Take your pick. There's been a lot of cases where that hasn't happened, but in these guys' case, they did it right for the first time, and they're still around, and they're still like 80% market share when it comes to digital PC gaming sales. Some say they're a monopoly. I would say they're more like an operation. Others would say, oh, it's cheating because you were the first to do it right, and that doesn't mean that you're doing it better than someone else could be doing, so it's cheating for them to be the best. I wouldn't call it cheating. I would call it an open relationship. But once upon a time, Gabe Newell looked at Windows 8 and went, gross, I hate that we're dependent on that. So he decided to put a lot of money, because he has a lot of money, and Valve has a lot of money, into developing their own operating system based on, I don't remember which Linux it was. It's Arch now. I think back then it was Debian, whatever. I don't really respect saying it correctly because I don't like it. Sue me. But they buckled down for several years, and they put a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of work into it to release the Steam machine, and it failed. Turns out the world was just not ready for something like that. even though they collaborated with a lot of big companies like Alienware. I have one of those, the Alienware Alpha R1, but as you can see, it was a failure because, like, you can't release a product that looks like this. I mean, it's got the RAM from the 90s sticking out of it and a watch band for some reason. I mean, what is this? You can't release a product like this and expect it to do well. Here's proof that it is what it says it is. But yeah, you can't release a product like this, so it didn't do well and it failed. So everyone assumed that Valve just kind of gave up, as you would after releasing something that terrible. But turns out they didn't give up. They just stopped talking about it and they tried again. And the fruits of their labor, they were worth it this time. This time it actually worked out, and it was a moderate success, a few million sold, which does sound like a crazy success for a company that doesn't usually make hardware other than really weird controllers and really awesome headsets that I wish that I had. So in that regard, it is a big success. I mean, it was the first time that a pre-built Linux gaming PC was built and sold, and a lot of people bought and had like actual cultural impact. I mean, your average person probably doesn't know what a Steam Deck is, but your average PC gamer probably has heard of it. And that's huge for a company that doesn't make hardware and they built their entire business off of digital sales. But when you compare it to even like really notoriously bad or failing video game consoles, yeah, it didn't sell that well in comparison to those things, but that's not what this is for. This is an enthusiast product. This isn't something that was meant to be adopted by the masses, and I don't think Valve even expected to sell as many as they did, and yet they did. And yes, I'm not opening this yet because there's a surprise in here that I want to save until it's comedically appropriate. Back when this released, the price to performance just in a vacuum was actually pretty good. It's got the equivalent of like, I don't know, a 1050 Ti or maybe like a neutered 1660 or something. It's kind of hard to tell with these things because there's certain, there's different power profiles and there's different scenarios, and there's some stuff that it does better than that card in certain scenarios and some stuff where it does worse. It's kind of its own thing, but effectively it's like a fairly mid-range gaming PC from like the late teens. Like if you spent maybe $900 on a gaming PC in like 2017 or 2018-ish, this is kind of analogous to the performance you would get, except you're stuck at 800p instead of 1080p, which is probably what people back then would be gaming on. But some people still played 720p, so it's kind of, it's hard to say. But even in a vacuum, when this released, price to performance was pretty good, just full stop, let alone for a handheld, and a handheld that ran Linux, which is notoriously, before then, bad for gaming because Linux doesn't support everything. It supports more than it ever has, for the most part, but before then, it didn't have that kind of support yet. And you know me, usually I roll the dice on things that are used and then I try to fix it or whatever, and sometimes that works really well, like in the case of my current gaming PC that I just bought or my Xbox Series X, but sometimes it doesn't work out, like the ROG. I think I mentioned what happened to the ROG. It died a month after I made the video about it. Dead. Was that my fault? Well, no, I was just using it like a normal person, and apparently ASUS knew about this defect and decided to do nothing, so they're on my shit list for the people I will not do business with anymore, because I tried to get it fixed and they just told me they just said, off with you, away with you, peasant. So I don't trust them anymore. But you know how I am with used things. I like to roll the dice. And I didn't, because I didn't want a repeat of the ROG. I bought this brand new. But this isn't ASUS, this isn't a ROG, this is a Steam Deck, and I can prove it. Opening your Steam Deck case ASMR. And here it is. Ha! I pranked you. I don't have a Steam Deck. I have a piece of wood that looks like a Steam Deck. I got you good. I got you to click on this video to see a Steam Deck, and I just have a piece of wood that looks suspiciously like the back of a Steam Deck. But I pranked you again. This isn't a piece of wood. This is the Steam Deck. Yes, ain't it beautiful? It's the Toast Steam Deck wood case thing. I think this is cherry wood. I don't rightly remember. I'm realizing the glare on. It's beautiful. It was expensive. Don't ask me how much this was because I'm ashamed, but it's worth it. I mean, it's not crap. You know, it's not some AliExpress, you know, fake wood skin. This is a real piece of wood that has been shaved and veneered and coated and everything and cut and laser etched, and then I applied it to my Steam Deck, and it's not garbage. I mean, look at this crazy business here to make one piece of wood fit the contours of a game console. It's incredible, and I want one for my Xbox Series X at some point. It's beautiful. I love wood. I love working with wood, and it smells like wood. And I paid an extra $10 to have them put the word dingus in it because I thought it was funny, and I applied the same logic to this as Wade of DankPods did to his iPod Touch, meaning that this is my Steam Deck. I'm not selling this, because the fact that it says dingus on it means that it's probably worth less than if I didn't, and I paid extra money for them to do it, just because I thought it was funny. So as for which model this is, this was the base 256 gig LCD model that used to be on sale. It's not for sale anymore. They got rid of it in favor of the OLED. Sad. But I bought this right when it was very clear that they were probably going to be getting rid of it, so I got one of the last ones that they made. So that's cool. What happened, though, is that I got it, and then I took the corpse of the ROG, which still had its 512 gig SSD in it, that was compatible with the Steam Deck. I made sure it was. I put that in there, reflashed it, because I completely messed up the cloning process, and it wouldn't boot anymore, so I had to reinstall all my games. Sad. And I put a 512 gig SD card in there, and this is effectively a 1 terabyte Steam Deck. Sure, about half of that storage is kind of slow, but it's fine. I don't really notice much of a difference between loading times, really, especially if you put like lighter 2D games on the SD card and you put the big 3D ones on the SSD, you don't really notice. And there was a period right after I got this, actually right before I got this, where all the computers that I had a couple, I had a laptop, had a desktop, and I had a couple laptops even, they all had problems. They all died on me in like quick succession, and I couldn't buy anything to replace them with at the time, almost like I just got a Steam Deck full price or something. So this was my computer for a little while. This was everything. This is what I gamed on. This is what I would plug. You know, I had a dongle. It's not around here because I'm using it for something else, but I got one of those like aluminum U-green USB-C multi-dongle things, plugged it in there, plugged it into the display, put my peripherals on, and then this was just a PC. And this was my PC for a few months. And then I would undock it, and then I could bring it, you know, into bed or whatever, to play stuff, or to use it as a laptop because it's got the things on it. It's got the trackpad, so you can just use it as a laptop too. It was pretty great. But enough about that. Let's turn it on. Well, naturally, it's almost dead. But yeah, underneath the cool wood, I mean, it's still just a Steam Deck. If you've seen SteamOS, you know what you're looking at. It's just a Steam Deck. And although to be fair, nothing is just a Steam Deck because the Steam Deck is great. Lately, I've been playing Rocket League on this, and I've had to use Heroic Game Launcher because Epic Games. I'm not really happy with what they do sometimes. They do stuff like take Rocket League off of Steam, so you have to use their launcher, and their launcher is not very good, especially on Linux, so you got to use a third-party one. And you know, I really wish they could just be in my library like a Steam game, and like I think I could do that, but well, using this reminds me of how much I'm a little annoyed with Epic Games in general. So let's play Rocket League. Let's turn this down. Porsche? No Porsche, thanks. As you can see, I already have a car. I already have the best automobile that's ever been put on this planet. The Hyundai, that. Points don't matter, says the guy with 0 points. What's the point? Depth perception is out the window because there's a tripod in my way. Scheisse. I'm not doing a lot of commentary because, one, I'm concentrating, but two, I don't want to fake what I do when I play these games. I don't really speak when I play these games. I'm a pretty silent gamer, you know. The best things are usually left unsaid. If you catch my meaning. Look at that epic save. Although it wasn't an epic save by technicality, but it was an epic normal save. And I missed. Where did he go? Where is he? Oh, he's over there. Okay. That's definitely a choice you can make. Well, I guess I shouldn't be judging. I am losing. I can't blame that on the recording. That was just a... Well, as they would say in old radio shows, in the 50s, that was a boner. I made a boner. Oh, let's go. That only took most of like half of the game, but I got a goal. I can't really make too many comments on the game itself. I mean, it's Rocket League. The only real problem is that it's Rocket League running at 60 FPS, and well, if you ask, you know, pro Rocket League players, 60 FPS is not enough. And even as a novice, yeah, 60 FPS, I mean, it's enough to play a bit more casually, but 120 FPS just makes things, it does genuinely make the game easier to play. It makes you a little better at the game if you know what you're doing. Obviously, you know, your equipment and your frame rate isn't going to automatically make you better, but if you can take advantage of it, it will make you better. Just got to hold on to this lead, and I will have more subscribers. I don't like this game. Ah, he stole it from me. No. What? I don't know what happened. I think he hit it out of the goal. He saved the ball for me. Thank you. Oh, can I get another one? No. Yeah, I knew he was going to do that, and I did nothing about it. That's what I call a goal. I don't know what else I would call it, because it was just a goal. Oh! That was pretty good. I'm glad I caught that. I'm actually glad I was recording it. That was neat. Yeah, I'm not very good at aerials. There are a lot of opportunities I could try doing aerials, but then I'm afraid that I'm going to make a fool out of myself, and I do that a lot. Not in this instance, though. Sticking to the ground seemed to work well for me. Are you really going to write out the clock, man? All right. I guess. GG. So yeah, it's confirmed. You get a Steam Deck, you can be pretty alright at Rocket League and win some of your games. Notice we were at like 26%, now we're at 17. Battery life is not the best on this. It's not the worst, it's better than the ROG, but yeah, it's not the best. I forgot that I didn't have this installed. This was a really good game to try out for this because it actually runs really well on here. Imagine Red Dead Redemption 2 at a mix of medium and low settings with ultra textures with minimum AMD upscaling on at 800p. Are you seeing it? See it on the screen? That's what it looks like, which is, pretty good for a Steam Deck. I guess I'll try this one. This game makes me angry. Makes me very upset. Although, life hack, make sure you remember to do this on smaller games that are really easy to run. Don't waste your battery life by leaving your TDP up all the way. Oh, it was already at 11 watts. So that solid, like rock solid locked 60 FPS, that was at 11 watts of TDP, but so was that battery life drain. So keep that in mind. Halfway through the game, I was more than halfway through the game on the Switch. Then I sold my Switch and had to buy the game again and had to do this again. So this guy's giving me grief. I do not like him. He makes me angry. Oh, I haven't played this in a while. Oh, I already don't remember the controls. And the controls that I set, because the default ones I don't like on a controller. And if you play this game on a keyboard and mouse, I mean, there is no mouse control, but if you play it on a keyboard, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, some people do. I don't know why, though. Certainly isn't something I would recommend. Locked 60 FPS. I mean, you would expect that. If this ran at anything less, I would assume there was something wrong with it if it didn't run at 60 FPS. My skill, on the other hand, is of a lot more questionable quality than the Steam Deck itself, which is fairly high quality. Already gonna die. Granted, I'm not trying very hard. I'm recording a video, and I already know there's no way I'm gonna beat this on camera. So, And also, again, remember that I can only see a portion of the screen because there's a tripod in my way. But I don't know, maybe you can tell by how I play that I'm alright at the game. But I've also played through this. I have beaten this at least once, and it was on a Switch Lite. So this is quite an upgrade. The Switch Lite has very not great controls because it's a Switch Lite. I'd show you it for comparison, but I sold it. It is currently in Hawaii, and I don't live in Hawaii. If you couldn't tell. All right, there you go. Well, I didn't really want to play this much anyway. Proof of concept, Cuphead runs. I mean, yeah, what a surprise. All right, Wreckfest. This game is great. I mean, it's great in general. I guess I haven't run it on here yet. I guess that makes sense. It's a great game, full stop. I haven't played the sequel. If it's any good, tell me, I guess, because I like this one. But this is fantastic on the Steam Deck. It looks great, runs great, never have any problems, although it's definitely a game I would recommend putting the TDP all the way up. You can get away with maybe 13 watts if you're alright with slightly lower frame rates. I wouldn't recommend it, though. I like to put maximum opponents. Why can't I go? Terrible game. I can't go back to do max opponents. I have to remember that max is 23 and whatever. Random AI vehicle, random, just random, damage extreme, last man standing. This is a fun thing to do. And then driving difficulty, extra hard, manual shifting, everything off, and AI difficulty, expert. This is a game. This is how I play the game sometimes. Usually, I'm not playing it as a demolition derby thing. I usually do races, but this is cool too, because it's extremely unfair. Because you've got giant trucks mixed in with go-karts. If this event was sanctioned in real life, there would be multiple fatalities and millions of dollars worth of lawsuits. But because it's not real life, we get to play it. No, we're done. Like my car, it's awesome. So as you can see, things are a little unfair. I have already been, I've been owned. I've been pwned. And yeah, what's fun with manual shifting is that if you want to reverse, you gotta manually go into reverse, and I'm already wrecked. And that's the game. That's all the game is. There's nothing. 23rd. I got 23rd, guys. Wonderful. And that's the Steam Deck. For a point of journalism, listen to the fans. POV, you are a small bug inside of a Steam Deck, and I am playing a game, and you get wind. And in case you're wondering, yes, it still has that great Steam Deck smell all these months later, but now it's mixed in with the smell of wood. It's a very unique aroma, one that only I have. Well, not only me, but most Steam Deck owners do not have it. Shout out to Toast for their incredible case. It makes me very happy. I love wood. The only thing is that it doesn't have very much in terms of staining. It doesn't have a very thick coating on it, but silver lining, it means that you can put one on if you really want. I work with wood sometimes. I've thought about doing it. Basically, shout out to Valve for making the Steam Deck, and shout out to Toast for making this case. I'm not sponsored. I just really enjoy, I just really enjoyed the whole experience. I really liked the product, and I liked that in the package it had a little handwritten thank you note, because they're a small company based out of Portland, I believe, and it's not crap. It's expensive, but it's not some farmed out garbage. It's partially handmade. It's like hand cut, hand assembled, and then they have the laser thing make the things. It's not some mass produced thing. It's a fairly small company. It's like, I like them. It's not their fault that I put this on slightly offset. They have that whole, like, they have this policy where if you mess it up really badly, they've got like a Butterfingers policy, and they'll send you a replacement of the bit that you got wrong. And I did get it wrong, but I didn't really get it wrong that badly, so I just elected to leave it. But I mean, if anyone from Toast is watching, thanks for making this, and thanks for letting me put Dingus on it. If any of you guys, because it's a small company, there's like 6 people who work there or something, they sent me a photo of all the people who are there. It wasn't very many. It was just like a handful of people that make this, and they seem to be pretty active when it comes to reviews on their products, and I will mention them in the title of this video. If anyone from Toast is watching, I mean, do you remember me? Do you remember the Dingus? Do you remember when you got an order in for a Steam Deck case, and I spent an extra $10 to put Dingus on it? Do you guys remember that? Anyway, so portable gaming has come a long way. Is it perfect? No. Okay, I'll rattle off some complaints. Complaint number 1: I dropped it on this bumper, and the button didn't work anymore, and I had to go in and I had to dingle with it a little bit to get it to work again, and there was a little bit of soldering involved, and that definitely voided my warranty, and I know it did because I reached out to Valve after the fact, and it was like, hey, can I get the replacement part? Is there anywhere I can get it? And they were like, no, not only is that not covered because that's considered accidental damage, but we don't actually sell that particular part, so you're just kind of on your own. I didn't like that very much, but I understood. Like, I get it. They offered to do an in-house repair, and they estimated it at like $110. That's not really worth it for something that does work, just doesn't work well. You can't press it. Here, this one you can. You can? Can't. You have to go up here. It doesn't feel right. I'll fix it at some point. There are some places that you can send it into to get it fixed, but I'm kind of paranoid about someone stealing it, to be honest. But yeah, everything, you know, it's great. It's a great value. It's got great price to performance ratio. It's one of the best handhelds that you can buy for the money. And everything is great, and there's no problems other than the complaint that I just had. And also the fact that when you go into desktop mode, sometimes the trackpads don't work for a little bit, and you gotta like press the Steam button. I don't know if it's normal. I have reinstalled SteamOS 3 separate times, and it's always been like that, so I'm guessing it's just how it is. So yeah, no elephants in the room to address. Everything is great, and it's a fantastic story of a great product at a great price, right? What's that smell? There's a terrible smell in here. What was... Oh no, it's modern computer industry and AI crisis. Oh no, they had to raise the price, didn't they? Oh, and they released the Steam Machine. It was way too expensive because RAM is expensive. And oh no, they discontinued the LCD model because, I don't know, I guess because they just couldn't get their hands on enough RAM, and they couldn't justify making the LCD so expensive, so they made the OLED most expensive, and the top of the line 1 terabyte OLED model is nearly $1,000, and these are a terrible value now. And my Steam Deck is actually appreciated in value because I bought the $399 model, the model that was $399, the base model LCD 256 gig model, and now, especially with the upgrades I've done to it in this case, even if I hadn't upgraded a single thing, it would have appreciated in value despite being used. Oh no. Well, on that depressing note, it looks like portable gaming is going to be stuck here for a while, at least when it comes to being adopted by the masses, which, to be fair, it's not a horrible place for portable gaming to be in. I mean, like, we were stuck with this for like 10 years. I think the Steam Deck hardware is probably going to be similar to the Game Boy's hardware, the fact that it sticks around for way too long, and a lot of games support it for a really long time. And I mean, like, I was using the original Game Boy as one of my main portable consoles in like 2010, 2011, 2012 kind of era. I carried one of these around for a while. So these had staying power. This has staying power, I think. For the ones that are out in people's hands, I think they're going to be in circulation, and I think they're going to be in demand for a very long time. And if I wanted to make basically all the money back, and maybe potentially a little more if I fixed the left bumper, I could sell this. I could this thing would pay for itself. I'm not going to do that because, as I explained, I had them scratch the word dingus into this case, and this case is expensive, so I don't think someone would want to remove it. And I spent a lot of money in this case, and I would have to tack that onto the value of the Steam Deck, and I don't think anyone would buy it because I etched the word dingus into it. So this is my Steam Deck, and that's how it's going to remain. Thank you, Hive, bye, thank you for watching. Sorry for the giant hiatus. I'll see you in another 7 months. I'm gonna show my lizard the Steam Deck. We're gonna see if it's a yes or a no. That'll determine if the Steam Deck is a recommend or a not recommend. What do you think of the Steam Deck? What do you think? He doesn't seem to care. That's a neutral vote. That's 1-0. 1-0, I win. Steam Deck is officially good. Thank you.